Good morning, happy Saturday. Thought I would do a quick video waiting for college football to start. I have my priorities on a Saturday. I am still seeing clients, and yes, I turn the TV off when I'm working with people, but it's Saturday, it's fall, it's football. So I have talked to a lot of parents this week, and it's kind of funny. I hear the same stuff on a regular basis, and it's cute. Parents are just, kids are coming home from school, daycare, with head cold, strep throat, impetigo, the flu, just the usual stuff, When you have a child and it's in daycare, you have a child who's in school, expect that child to come home carrying all kinds of little germs and buggies. It's just the way it works. So here's what I would advise. Now, I am speaking as a mom, as a grandma, as a retired nurse. So, hand washing. I don't mean sanitizer. Sanitizer is great if you're in the car, if you're at school, that's wonderful, but nothing beats soap and water. And the best way to do this is when you have your kids in there 2 and 3 and you're teaching them to wash their hands, have them sing happy birthday when they're washing their hands, or Old MacDonald Had a Farm, something. Some short song as they're washing their hands, and by the time they're done with the song, rinse their hands, and that's clean enough. But it's hand washing. It's all about the hand washing. Just think of the things kids at school and daycare, at the grocery store, everything they touch. They touch toys, chairs, tables. At the grocery store, they're in the carts, they're touching groceries on the shelf, they're touching fruit, they're touching everything. And as they're touching everything, they're scratching different places, they're wiping their nose or doing other things, and then they're touching the food again, or they're touching the table and the crayons and the books. And think about it. Have your child, when your child walks in the door, wash their hands. If I take the trash out, if I go check the mail, if I, run to the post office or go do anything, go see a client, as soon as I get home, first thing I do is wash my hands with soap. Guaranteed. You have to instill this when they're young. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to get kind of basic for some people, because I heard yesterday, well, I forget, we're busy. Well, that's fine. And when your child has the flu, and it's not the flu, it's E. coli, it's your fault. When your child goes to the bathroom, have them wash their hands. I don't care what they're doing in the bathroom. Have them wash their hands with soap. Think about what they're touching. Toilet tissue is wonderful. However, it's a tissue. I'm trying to be delicate here. Body fluids, body excretions do go through the tissue. And so just because you think, well, my hand didn't specifically touch it, it may have, and you just don't realize it. Bacteria and germs are stinkers. Wash your hands with soap and dry them. It can make a big difference. You don't want your child making the whole family sick, going to the, they're going to help you with a salad, and they go in and go to the bathroom and come out, and they're helping you with the tomatoes and the lettuce, and they're tearing the lettuce for you. Well, if they didn't wash their hands, oh boy. Oh yeah. So let's just be smart, okay? Another helpful hint. Now, this is what I did when my son was growing up. My son is now 44 with a family of his own. We got a new toothbrush for both of us, of course. Everybody gets a new toothbrush every month during the school year. If they're in daycare, if they're in school, that's what I did. Now, I recommend at least every 3 months. I know most people go to the dentist every 6 months and you get a new toothbrush. You need to switch it out sooner than that. If your child comes home with a cold, comes home with impetigo, a sore on their mouth, around their nose, if they have strep throat, they're going to keep reinfecting themselves if they keep using that toothbrush after they're well. They come home, they're sick, you could take them to the doctor. Okay, it's strep throat. Here's the antibiotics. Take them till they're done, which everybody should do. Don't stop taking antibiotics just because you're feeling better. And then when they're done with the antibiotics, throw away that toothbrush and get them a new toothbrush. Otherwise, they're healthy now and they're going to reinfect themselves. And strep throat can go through a family very quickly. Do not share glasses. Do not share forks and spoons. Wash them. And I know this is stuff you think, well, I already know this. But do you put it into practice? That's different than knowing it. And I want you to put it into practice. Instill this in your kids. When your kids are at school, teach them to use Kleenex. Do not wipe their, little noses on their sleeve. Use a tissue. Do not go, no. That's disgusting. We don't snort. We're not pigs. We don't do that. Plus, the drainage that you are snorting up, is going to go down the back of your throat. And that can cause a sore throat after a long day of snorting and sniffling. So let's just teach them to blow. Use tissue, blow your nose, throw it away, and then wash your hands. If you're at school, your teacher may not let you go to the bathroom every time you blow your nose. That's when you use the hand sanitizer. But please, teach them to do this. If you don't want to see your kid come home with all kinds of sores around their nose and mouth, this is going to work. Don't drink after other kids. We all know not to let other kids use combs and borrow their hats and things like that because of head lice. That's bad. You don't want that. I am so thankful Jeff never brought that home. And I have never in my life had to deal with it. I mean, I've seen it with patients when I worked in the hospital, of course, when somebody homeless would come in through the ER. But yeah, that's not something you want to deal with. That can go through a family very quickly. So again, keep an eye on things. If your child brings home a note, somebody in class has, it could be strep. Keep an eye on your child. If they have chickenpox, keep an eye on your child. If they start breaking out, let your doctor know. Don't anticipate just because somebody in the class had it that they're going to get it. They may not. But keep an eye on your child. If they start breaking out, if they start running a fever, they are not feeling well, keep them home. Don't send your kid to school sick. For that matter, if you're not feeling well, don't go to work sick because you're going to infect everybody in the office, and that's not too cool. Don't do that. That's not appreciated by anybody. If your kid has the head lice note come home, check your child closely. Look at their hats. Make sure they understand you can't borrow a comb, you can't borrow a brush. Sorry. And, if you have beautiful daughters, or for that matter, sons, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Forgive me. If you have children who are of makeup wearing age, make sure they know not to share makeup. Don't share lipsticks, lip gloss, eyeliner, eyeshadow, because you can get pink eye. You can get infections. You can get all kinds of problems. You don't want to do that. So I know this is stuff that most of you know, but a lot of people think, oh, I didn't think of that. I forgot. I have to be reminded every year. That's okay. I don't mind reminding people. It's just, I'm trying to keep you healthy and your family healthy. Make sure your kids are getting enough rest. When you send them to bed at the appropriate hour, a kid 7, 8 years old should not be up to 10 o'clock. Don't send them to bed with an iPad. Don't send them to bed with a phone. They can look at a book, they can meditate, they can listen to music, but, let's turn their little brains off and let them sleep, okay? A child needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. Otherwise, they're not going to be having a good day. They're going to wake up grumpy and everybody's going to have a bad morning. We don't want that. If they have a good day, you're going to have a good day, okay? Feed them nutritious food. I know I was a single mom. And there are times that, you just want to drive through McDonald's, grab dinner, grab a pizza, and sometimes that's fine. But think about just picking up a rotisserie chicken and some frozen vegetables, okay? Healthy food. Kids don't need processed foods, processed sugars. Lunch meat really is not healthy. Hot dogs really aren't healthy for you. So let's try to use more nutritious foods. On weekends, on Sunday, not knowing if everybody goes to services on Saturday or Sunday, depending on your religious beliefs. On weekends, start doing meal prep for the week. Make frozen dishes and pop them in the freezer that you can just take out and put in the microwave, or you can put in the oven. Think ahead. And I know there's only so many hours in the day, and you have a lot to do. You have work and work issues. You have family issues. There's not enough of you to go around. So I just want you to try and be healthy and be smart. I'm not nagging. I'm just being a mom right now and a grandma, okay? If the weather is starting to get cooler and chilly where you live, send your kid out the door with a jacket or a sweater. I remember when my son was in high school. It was a fad back in the, 90s, to go to school wearing shorts. It didn't matter if there was snow on the ground, they would wear sweatshirts and sweaters and coats and shorts, and it would just, he did fine. But, talk to your children. You need, if you're going to dress like that, well, please, you got to wear a coat, you got to wear a sweater. And once you're dealing with teenagers, it's a whole new world. But they need to understand we're trying to keep them healthy too. And with a teenager, always fall back on what it's going to do to their complexion. If they don't get enough sleep, it's going to affect their complexion. If they eat all the wrong stuff, it's going to affect their complexion. It will also affect their grades. They're not going to be alert at school. They're not going to be focused and be able to stay awake. So just putting some stuff out there for you to think about. And that also includes a little self-care, which is boundaries. Sometimes you are pulled by people at work, your boss, your coworkers, and you come home, your spouse, significant other, your kids are pulling you in 5 or 6 different directions. And then you have family members pulling you in different directions, friends pulling you in different directions, and possibly the community if you're involved in church, your synagogue, your mosque, whatever it may be. There's not enough of you to go around. Learn to say no. It's okay. I don't have time right now. Maybe next time. I'm sorry, my schedule won't allow it. It's okay to say no. Stick up for yourself. Defend yourself. Don't let somebody bully you into doing something you don't have time to do. Tell them, if I do something, I want to do a good job. I don't have time to do this now, so I'm sorry. I wouldn't be giving it my full attention. That does not include things you say at work. Bosses don't want to hear that. But if you can say no to projects or delegate them to someone else, do. Learn to delegate. Delegate responsibilities at home. Kids need to learn responsibility. Somebody 5 years old can pick up their dirty clothes and their toys and put them away. They can start learning to make their bed. That's not anything big, but it will help. By the time they're 12, they can start learning to help with laundry, sorting laundry, putting the laundry in the dryer with the dryer sheets. They can learn to help. They can start helping with meal prep. By the time Jeff, my son, I'm trying to think, he was in 7th or 8th grade, I think. He could cook. Because I wanted to make sure by the time he went to college, he was not going to starve and just live on ramen noodles. And my son is a very good cook. But you have to let your kids learn. Start them off with salads, helping you with salads. Let them know by the time they're 12 or 14 years old, they should know how to use the microwave, how to do soup, just basic stuff. Let them help. And if it's your birthday, I can't talk. If it's your birthday, let your child make your birthday cake, cupcakes, if they're old enough. If they're 5 or 6, let them decorate. It may be a catastrophe, but it will be a memorable one for everybody. It will mean a lot to them. Holidays coming up soon. Have them help with cookies, cookie making. Get the family involved. It's a team effort. Okay, I will shut up. I want you to have a good weekend. I want you to have a good week. Please practice self-care. Love yourself. Love your family. Take care of yourself. And please take care of your family.